Hello and welcome. It's your main math man, Mr. Lyons here. And as you notice, I added up all these beautiful math awards here. And this is how many dollars I got, right? You turn this into standard form, add it up, $4,520. That's a lot of math awards, right? But now let's see how you do this in scientific notation. And I'm going to write this right up here, right? 1/2 plus 1/3. Can you do this? Can you add this like this? No, a lot of us know you can't do this. You can't get 2/5. Like, that's not how fractions work. And this is very similar to the way you add in scientific notation, right? A lot of students, when they see this, they'll do, okay, let me do times 10 to the second power. Oh, let me line up my decimals, right? Times 10 to the third power, right? Add this up. What do you get? 9.2 times what? 10 to the fifth power? Is that what that looks like? That's not what we got here. This is definitely a different number. That's not how you add in scientific notation, right? First thing you do when you're adding in scientific notation is you notice, let me put my operation down. I like to write these things down just like this. I'm adding, use parentheses to show your different quantities here, right? And I put this up here because adding in scientific notation is very similar to adding fractions. But instead of using common denominators, you're going to need common what? Common powers of 10, right? Right now, I don't have common powers of 10. So do you think you know what I can do to create common powers of 10? I don't have to change both of these, thankfully. I can either turn this 10 to the third power into 10 to the second power, or I can turn this 10 to the second power into 10 to the third power. It's usually most efficient to turn the smaller power into the bigger power. Let me show you what I mean. I need to add these two quantities, but right now I need the same powers of 10. So 5.2 times 10 to the second power, I need to change this 2 to a what to get the same power? That's right, I need to change it to a 3. So that means I need to add 1 here. But I can't just make this on the stovetop or in the microwave, or it's not just in my pocket. Where am I getting this extra place value, this extra power of 10? That's right. I'm taking it from my leading factor here. I'm making my leading factor smaller. Right, be careful with your jumps. I'm not going to add another 0 here. Just one jump with your decimal. Be careful. Right? I'm taking away this place value and I'm giving it to this power of 10. So now what I have is 0.52, right? Because it'd be a 0 right here, right? I like to put my 0 in there just to organize it. Times 10 to the third power plus 4 times 10 to the third power. The second quantity is not changing here, right? Now that I have the same powers of 10, now I can line up my decimals and I can add. Let me show you what I mean. 0.52. Where would my decimal go here? Excuse me, times 10 to the third power. Where would my decimal go here if I'm adding these things up? I do 4.00 times 10 to the third power. The biggest thing today is to make sure you have common powers of 10. And you guys know how to do this, right? It's the this for me. It's the leading factor for me. You know how to convert scientific notation into standard form, right? Now I can add these bad boys up. I have my decimals lined up. I have the same powers of 10. Now I don't have to worry about this, right? Because I have the same zeros here, the same amount of zeros here. It's going to be times 10 to the third power, right? That's going to stay the same, right? Now this is different from this. We're not multiplying, right? We're not using our product rule here. We're adding these quantities, right? Be careful. Some kids will say 10 to the 6th. Be careful. And this is going to be 4.52, right? So in scientific notation, this is what this would look like. Now, how can you check? How can you check? Well, keep game. 4.52 times 10 to the third power. I'm going to get bigger. 1, 2, 3 place values. Well, would you look at that? Would you look at that? The biggest thing here that we're doing today is making sure we have the same powers of 10 before we add, right? Now, be careful as well. When we're adding decimals, you have to be very careful when you're adding your decimals. You got to line up the decimal, got to do all that. Organization is going to be key today, okay? Do the vocabulary in the next section, and I'll check you soon.